The most terrifying aspect is not the heart attack itself, but rather how it strikes without any prior warning, precisely when you believed everything was perfectly fine. I cannot begin to count the number of elderly individuals I have encountered who entered my clinic complaining of nothing more than slight exhaustion or minor breathing difficulties. By the time we conducted the necessary examinations, their hearts were already facing serious danger. I am not attempting to frighten you, but rather to share the honest truth with you. After spending countless years working as a cardiac surgeon, I have observed a heartbreaking pattern where most individuals over 60 are unknowingly harming their hearts every single day without any awareness whatsoever. This damage does not stem solely from consuming junk food or smoking cigarettes. There exists one particular habit, something that appears completely innocent, something that numerous seniors engage in daily, that quietly deteriorates your heart like a slow-acting poison. Throughout this video, I will guide you through 10 everyday mistakes that silently damage your heart from within. These represent genuine habits I have witnessed in my patients, and many of them truly believed they were living perfectly healthy lives until their hearts indicated otherwise. However, do not worry, because each of these dangers comes accompanied by a straightforward solution you can implement immediately. The reality is that your heart continues to respond to your actions. You simply need to provide it with what it requires. If you genuinely care about your heart or someone else's well-being, please remain with me until the very conclusion. I guarantee that one of these habits will genuinely surprise you, and modifying it could potentially add years to your life. Before we begin our discussion, please let me know in the comments whether you have ever been surprised by a heart-related diagnosis or if someone close to you has experienced this. If this type of genuine, honest health advice holds importance for you, do not forget to hit that subscribe button to join our balanced health community. You deserve to know the truth, and I am here to provide it to you. Now, let us begin with the habit I observe most frequently, which is far more dangerous than you might imagine. The first habit that breaks my heart the most involves witnessing a strong, wise individual in their 60s or 70s gradually losing their health. This decline does not occur because of some terrible disease, but simply because they ceased moving their bodies. You do not need to run marathons or maintain gym memberships or engage in heavy workout routines. I am discussing walking, simple daily walking, the kind of movement our bodies were specifically designed to perform. This type of activity keeps blood flowing properly, prevents joints from stiffening, and most importantly, stops your heart from silently weakening over time. Many people do not realize that when you stop walking regularly, your blood begins to pool and circulation slows down significantly. This creates the perfect opportunity for fat and cholesterol to adhere to your artery walls. When your blood vessels narrow and harden in this manner, your heart must push considerably harder. It deteriorates faster, just like an engine running uphill constantly. A major study published in Circulation followed more than 4,000 older adults over several years. They discovered that walking just 30 minutes daily at your own comfortable pace reduced the risk of heart attack by nearly 50%. This improvement comes not from medication or surgery, but from your own defeat saving your heart. Walking does not just benefit your heart, it also clears your mind, lifts your mood, and helps control your weight, blood sugar, and blood pressure, which are all major threats to your heart's health. However, the truth is that if you wait until your chest begins hurting, it might already be too late. Prevention operates quietly and consistently. Start small by taking 10 minutes in the morning and adding another 10 minutes in the afternoon. Walk to the corner store instead of driving your car. Use the stairs once daily. Every single step you take sends a message to your heart saying, "I still care about you." Now let us discuss another silent danger that appears on almost every dinner table. Most people believe sugar represents the villain, but in my experience, especially with seniors, salt functions as the real silent killer. It conceals itself in plain sight, not just in the shaker on your table, but in canned soups, sliced bread, store-bought sauces, pickles, chips, and even so-called healthy frozen meals. You do not have to taste the salt for it to be present in significant amounts. Salt forces your body to retain water, and that extra fluid raises your blood volume, putting increased pressure on your arteries. Day after day, that pressure stretches and damages the delicate lining inside your blood vessels. You will not feel this happening, which is precisely why it is called the silent killer. Over time, this pressure leads to high blood pressure, kidney strain, and heart failure. In one study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, researchers followed over 100,000 people worldwide and discovered that even modest reductions in salt intake could prevent millions of deaths from heart disease and stroke each year. This demonstrates to us how powerful this little white crystal can be. The challenging part is that as we age, our kidneys become less efficient, meaning even small amounts of extra sodium can cause more damage than they would have when you were younger. First, check your food labels and aim for no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day, which equals less than 1 teaspoon of salt in total. Next, choose fresh ingredients over packaged ones, and instead of relying on salt for flavor, experiment with herbs, lemon, garlic, or pepper. Your taste buds will adjust in approximately 2 weeks, and you will barely miss the salt. Even switching from salted to unsalted nuts or avoiding deli meats can ease the pressure on your heart. Remember, this is not about eliminating every grain of salt, but rather making smarter choices that help your heart breathe easier. Speaking of choices, what you consume in the very first meal of the day can either protect your heart or put it in serious danger. Breakfast is supposed to provide your heart with a gentle start to the day, but for many seniors, it functions more like a punch in the chest. Picture this scenario. You wake up, pour yourself a creamy coffee, fry up some bacon or sausage, maybe enjoy buttery toast or sugary cereal. This sounds comforting, but to your heart, it represents complete chaos. In the morning, your blood is naturally somewhat thicker and your blood vessels are slightly tighter, especially as you age. This explains why more heart attacks occur in the morning than at any other time of day. Now imagine adding heavy, greasy food into that mixture. You are forcing your heart to work double time, pushing thickened blood through narrow, inflamed arteries. A study published in the American Journal of Cardiology found a direct link between high-fat breakfasts and increased risk of morning cardiovascular events, particularly in adults over 60. This means what you eat in the first hour after waking can literally make or break your day or your life. Fatty meats, trans fats, and excess sugar all raise inflammation, spike cholesterol levels, and increase blood pressure. It might taste delicious, but that pleasure proves short-lived, while what it leaves behind represents long-term damage to your arteries. Instead, try oatmeal topped with berries, or a slice of whole grain toast with mashed avocado, boiled eggs with a few nuts, or even a banana and a glass of warm lemon water. These options nourish your body, keep blood flow smooth, and provide energy that lasts without overloading your heart. A glass of wine to unwind or a shot of whiskey to help you sleep feels harmless, maybe even healthy. After all, you have probably heard people say a little alcohol benefits the heart. However, they rarely tell you that after the age of 60, your body changes, and so does the way it handles alcohol. Your liver slows down, your heart becomes more sensitive, and even just a drink daily can push your cardiovascular system into dangerous territory. A large-scale study published in The Lancet followed over 600,000 people and found that drinking more than one alcoholic drink per day significantly increases the risk of heart failure, stroke, and irregular heartbeat, especially in older adults. As a heart doctor, I have witnessed this repeatedly. Seniors arrive with high blood pressure that will not budge, heart rhythms that skip and flutter, or signs of early heart failure. The common link is daily alcohol consumption, not heavy drinking or parties, just a glass or two every evening. Alcohol can interfere with common medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes. It can disrupt your sleep, raise stress hormones, and add fat around the heart. That nightcap you think is relaxing you is quietly putting your heart under tremendous stress. I am not here to lecture, and I understand that for many people, alcohol connects to habits, culture, or even comfort. However, if you truly care about your heart and your future, it is time to rethink what is in your glass. If quitting completely feels like too much, start with boundaries of no more than 1 drink daily, and not every day. Give your body space to heal, your sleep time to recover, and your heart a chance to beat without interference. You can eat the perfect diet, walk every day, and take all your pills on time, but if you keep your emotions bottled up, anger, sadness, and fear, your heart will feel every ounce of that weight. Emotional stress is not just in your head, it is completely physical. When you are upset but stay silent, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals tighten your blood vessels, raise your heart rate, and push your blood pressure higher. Over time, this constant pressure makes your heart work harder than it should, even when you are sitting still. A landmark study from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that emotional suppression, holding in negative feelings, significantly increases the risk of heart attack and stroke, particularly in seniors. Yet so many older adults still say, "I do not want to bother anyone with my problems," or worse, "I have lived with stress my whole life and I can handle it." But your heart cannot handle it. After 60, your body becomes more sensitive to emotional tension. The walls of your arteries thin out and your nervous system does not recover as quickly. What you could handle at 40 may now be slowly breaking you from the inside. You do not have to start therapy tomorrow. Just start talking. Call a friend, write in a journal, join a local seniors group, or sit outside and breathe deeply for 10 minutes daily. Even a few minutes of silence where you simply allow yourself to feel without judgment can make a real difference. Every time you let go of a heavy thought or a buried fear, your heart relaxes, your blood flows more freely, and your breath deepens. Most people laugh about snoring. Some joke that it sounds like a bear, while others wear earplugs to bed. However, as a heart doctor, let me tell you something clearly. Snoring is not always funny. Sometimes it represents a cry for help from your heart. Loud, frequent snoring often indicates sleep apnea, a condition where your breathing stops and starts during the night. You might not even notice it, but your heart certainly does. Every time your breathing stops, even for a few seconds, your oxygen drops, your blood pressure spikes, your heart rate jumps, and your body enters a mini stress response again and again throughout the night. The Journal of the American Medical Association published a study showing that untreated sleep apnea doubles the risk of heart failure and significantly raises the chance of sudden cardiac death in seniors, especially men over 60. The worst part is that most people do not know they have it. They just feel tired during the day. Maybe they wake up with headaches or forget things more often. They attribute it to aging, never realizing their heart is being silently pushed to the edge every single night. If someone tells you that you snore loudly, gasp for air in your sleep, or stop breathing for moments at a time, please do not ignore it. Ask your doctor for a sleep study, which is painless and easy. If you are diagnosed, treatments like a CPAP machine, nasal device, or even simple changes in sleep position can make a massive difference. You already know smoking damages your lungs, but what you might not realize is that every puff of smoke, yours or someone else's, rips through your heart like a tiny blade. This is not dramatic, it is purely biological. Cigarette smoke contains over 7,000 chemicals. When inhaled, even in small amounts, these toxins damage the delicate inner lining of your arteries. That lining is called the endothelium, and it is what keeps your blood flowing smoothly. When it is damaged, your blood vessels stiffen, plaque starts to build up, blood gets stickier, and your heart has to work harder with every single beat. A 40-year study published in the British Medical Journal confirmed that even light smoking, As few as one cigarette daily raises your risk of heart disease significantly. Secondhand smoke is not harmless either. Seniors who live with smokers have up to a 25% higher risk of heart attacks, even if they have never touched a cigarette themselves. I have treated patients in their 60s who never smoked a day in their life but lived with someone who did, and their arteries told the complete story. Please do not be fooled by light cigarettes or vaping. The nicotine still damages your heart and the chemicals still inflame your vessels. Clean blood and oxygen, not smoke, is what your heart needs to thrive. I know quitting is not easy, but it is possible and absolutely worth it. Within just 24 hours of quitting, your heart rate and blood pressure start to normalize. Within a few weeks, your circulation improves, and within a year, your risk of heart disease drops dramatically. Talk to your doctor, ask about nicotine patches, join a quit group, and find a friend to support you. Every day without smoke represents a step toward healing. Your heart does not care how long you have smoked, it only cares that you stop. A little news before bed, a few scrolls through Facebook, or maybe a movie to help you fall asleep seems harmless. However, every time you stare at a screen at night, your heart quietly pays the price. Phones, tablets, and televisions all emit something called blue light. This type of light tricks your brain into thinking it is still daytime, which means your body delays releasing melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. When sleep is disturbed, your blood pressure stays higher throughout the night, your insulin resistance increases, your heart rate becomes less stable, and your nervous system does not get the rest it desperately needs. Over time, this constant low-level stress builds up, raising your risk of atrial fibrillation, heart attack, and even stroke. In one study published in the European Heart Journal, researchers found that seniors with poor sleep patterns had a 35% higher risk of cardiovascular disease, independent of diet, exercise, or genetics. It is not just the light, but also the content, the news, the noise, and the stimulation. It keeps your brain alert when it should be winding down. Your body may be in bed, but your mind is still fighting, reacting, and processing, while your heart is caught in the middle. 1 hour before bed, turn off the screens, let the lights dim, pick up a book, listen to soft music, or just sit quietly with a cup of warm chamomile tea. Let your body shift into rest mode naturally. If you really need background noise, try soft instrumental music or a guided meditation, something that soothes rather than stimulates. Fast food feels quick, tasty, and sometimes when you are tired or do not feel like cooking, it seems like the easiest option in the world. However, every burger, every fried snack, and every crispy bite is silently turning your blood into sludge. Fast food and fried food are loaded with trans fats, saturated fats, and excess salt. These ingredients do not just sit in your stomach, they travel straight into your bloodstream. They raise your LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, trigger inflammation inside your arteries, and make your blood thicker and harder to pump. In a large study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers found that people who ate fried foods just 4 times weekly had a 37% higher risk of heart failure, especially those over 60. It is not just the big meals. Even one daily snack like a samosa, a piece of fried chicken, or a handful of chips adds up significantly. As we age, our metabolism slows down and our arteries lose flexibility. This means your heart cannot handle the same junk it used to in your younger years. It is like forcing an old engine to run on dirty fuel. It wears out faster. You do not need to eat boiled vegetables every day. Instead, switch to baked or grilled versions of your favorite foods. Use an air fryer instead of deep frying. Snack on fruits, nuts, or homemade soups, and cook once while reheating healthy meals for the week. Even small changes make a significant difference because your blood becomes what you eat. Oily fried food creates oily, heavy blood that slows down circulation, clogs your arteries, and forces your heart to fight harder every moment. This represents the habit that worries me the most, not because it is complicated, but because it feels so innocent and reasonable. You wake up, check your blood pressure, and it looks good. You feel fine. So, you skip a dose, then maybe two. Before you know it, days or weeks go by and the damage begins. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason. You will not feel it rising, and there are no warning bells, but inside your body it is slowly damaging the walls of your arteries, thickening your heart muscle and increasing your risk of heart attack, stroke, and kidney failure. One major study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that seniors who skipped their blood pressure medication for even a few days had a significantly higher risk of hospitalization and cardiac events. The risk gets worse the longer the medications are ignored. I have had patients collapse from strokes simply because they ran out of pills and thought they would just pick them up next week. I have seen perfectly healthy-looking seniors suffer heart attacks because they stopped their medications when they felt okay. Let me say this clearly. Feeling okay does not mean your blood pressure is under control. Your medication is not there to fix a symptom. It is there to protect you from what you cannot feel. If you are having side effects, talk to your doctor rather than just stopping. There are always alternatives, different doses, or better options, but skipping entirely is never safe. Use a pill organizer, set a daily reminder on your phone, and link your pill time to something you already do, like brushing your teeth or making tea. If you travel, keep extra doses in your bag or wallet just in case. Managing blood pressure is not about perfection, it is about consistency. One little pill daily might seem small, but it could be the reason you are still walking, laughing, and living years from now. Do not gamble with your future. Your heart has been working nonstop since the day you were born, and the least we can do is not make its job harder. Your heart does not ask for much. It just wants a fair chance to keep beating strong, to carry you through your days, and to be there for the people you love. The truth is that it has been doing that for you every second of your life. However, after 60, it needs a little more care, not perfection, just attention. You do not have to change everything at once or be flawless. All it takes is a few small decisions taken seriously and done consistently to shift the direction of your health. Start with one habit to let go, one walk to take, one meal to change, or one deep breath to calm your mind. Every small act of care you give your heart, it gives back tenfold in strength, in years, and in moments you might have otherwise missed. If this video made you think or helped you reflect on your own habits, I would love to hear from you in the comments about what one change you are going to make starting today. If you have not yet, please tap the like button as it helps us reach more seniors who might need this message. Do not forget to subscribe to Balance Health, where we share real, honest advice to help you live longer, feel stronger, and stay independent every single day. Your future self will thank you, your family will thank you, and most of all, your heart will thank you. Stay strong, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.